that got me involved in the sugya, so I figured I would share it with the oil. The shiloh was someone ate a dish and wasn't sure if there was hard cheese in there, if there was Parmesan cheese in there. So the question is, are they allowed to eat their Yom Tov Suda afterwards? So first of all, we have to just discover what is considered hard cheese. Like, what's the criteria of something being hard cheese? So just a little hakdama, the Ramah paskins that we're noig to be makra on eating hard gvina kasha for 6 hours, and the shach says the reason is that, and the reason is because just like we know after fleishes you have to wait 6 hours. The reason because the two svaras in the Rishonim, one svara being that the taste lingers in your mouth for another extended period of time, or the meat gets stuck between your teeth. So they say when you eat hard cheese, these reasons apply as well, that the taste lingers in your mouth for whatever 6 hours or so, and the cheese gets stuck between your teeth. Now, the shaila is, what is considered hard cheese? So the shach and the taz explain that hard cheese is basically something that was aged for around 6 months. The shach says, stam gvina, 6 months old, that's considered hard cheese. So there's a big need in exactly what the hagdor is exactly of the shach and the taz. Just to mention for now two of them. Apparently the OU policy going with this is that any cheese that must be aged for approximately six months in order to attain proper, very firm texture. That something which needs that apparently there's a lot of different types of cheese, and cheeses that certain types of cheese need 6 months to retain to get its proper texture. That is considered hard cheese. But they say there's additional rule to that as we explained, that the reason why you have to wait for hard cheese is because it gets stuck between your teeth and the taste stays in your mouth. So they say that there's a svara that if you have hard cheese, which might not be so hard, but it still has a very strong taste, so that has to be dealt with as hard cheese, and you have to wait 6 hours for that as well. So that's a very vague hagdara, but that's how they go. So the other mahalach, so that's basically any cheese that it doesn't have to be so rock hard solid. Any cheese that you need that to make its cheese needs around 6 months. So it could be 5, 6, 7 months to make it its proper cheese. Like there's many different types of cheese, like we said, and every cheese needs a different amount of time to age. So this cheese needs this amount of time to make 6 months. That's how you define that this cheese is hard cheese. And also, if it's a very strong tasting cheese, even if it's not 5 to 6 months, even it'll be like 3 months, but somehow not clear exactly the hagdara. But if you feel like it's very strong tasting and this taste lingers in your mouth for a very long time, that you have to down as hard cheese. There's a different mahalach about this. That is more the star K and coming from Moshe Heinemann from Aaron, that the hard cheese needs to be hard cheese, like hard cheese. It has to be cheese that's rock hard solid, and that is the total and only agdara for being hard cheese. Meaning that you could, even the cheese is very strong tasting, that's not agdara. They say, even though the Chachamim will speak out that hard cheese has a very strong taste, they say the reason it's all agdara and being hard cheese, meaning because the way you make hard cheese is that you let it age. And as it ages, the moisture, the liquid, the way it evaporates and it gets drier and drier, and that's what makes it harder. And at the same time, that's what gives concentrates the taste and makes the taste a very strong taste. And even a little, if you have a proper hard cheese, a little sprinkle that is so strong that can change the taste of the whole dish, and it's enough to linger in your mouth, and that's how you define hard cheese. It has to be hard cheese, cheese that is extremely hard. And so in Shmuel Kamenetsky's Sefer and Kavas Halachos and Shavuos, he also goes with this, and he says that hard cheese, and he says most cheeses, the gvinas, the koshes that were mitzvahs benenu are not considered hard cheese, and they don't have to wait 6 hours for the cheeses that we have. The hainu. that you go, even though you go to the store and they, you can find ha'olam, they sell these, like, I never noticed it until a few days ago. I was involved in the sugya, but these have these cheeses that they say aged 10 months on them. You pick them up and they feel very hard. But pretty much you could take a regular knife and just cut these. So if you look in the Kibbutz Halachas over there, and the client told me, and I heard a different, I spoke to another Rabbi Jacobitz, he told me they were both there, and they bought Rabbi Shmuel Kamenetsky by Chatzana from ShopRite, Parmesan cheese. They said it's a treifa cheese, and they said that it's so hard that you don't, no kosher cheese even comes close to as hard as that cheese. And they bought it to Rabbi Shmuel by Chatzana, and Shmuel took a knife, or they took a knife and they cut it, and Shmuel laughed and said, "There's not gmina kasha." And so they asked him, "So what is gmina kasha?" It's like, if you would have been in Europe, you would have known what gmina kasha is, right? So he said that is how he goes with gmina kasha. Gmina kasha has to be something which I think he goes to Rabbi Aaron also you need something. I think the sprach is a ribbeisen, like you need like literally like like a grater or like some type of like a jigsaw or something to mamish like chisel away pieces. Yes, he passes Parmesan cheese is not considered hard cheese, and you do not have to wait 6 months. Now, don't take any 6 hours. Sorry, but don't take any halachic. These ideas as this, you have to ask your Rav. I'm just telling you the hard facts. I'm not telling you any halachic decisions over here. So that is how they go. So it's interesting.
They're saying that even if there is this big taste, the taste will last for 6 hours. Doesn't make a difference. That's not what
they say. That's not like Dora. They say like Dora has to be something which is.
I mean, the time why it's us, you said, was because of the taste. So
it gets stuck and the taste, but they say it goes hand in hand. They say the only way the Hagdor's Chazal of taste lasting in your mouth 6 hours is in the cheese that is so hard and the taste is so concentrated. That's how you define that this taste lasts in your mouth for 6 hours.
Especially the cheese that's selling to shake out. The shaker was hard. It was chiseled off.
No, so I called up. So I called up. I called up Holam today from their to figure out. I want to know because they sell these blocks of cheese, right? So I wasn't sure their Parmesan cheese that they shake out of their shaker. What's the background of that cheese? Was that the same type of cheese that just grated, or is something else? So they said. I spoke to one of the sheriffs today. He said the way they do it is they have the same cheese that they sell in the store, that's aged for 10 months, right? That you could cut with a knife. They have a block that's 40 pounds of that. They put it in a dryer. I don't know. They have a drying system. They make it. They make the liquid evaporate, and then they crush it. That's how they do it. So I wasn't sure if that would make it considered hard cheese, just because it's aged the same long. It's the same thing. It's aged for 10, 12 months, whatever it is, and then they just dry it and then they crush it. So you have to know So just because if you have cheese that wasn't aged but just dried out, if that makes it considered hard cheese, right? Right. So you have cheese in your right. So I spoke. So it was interesting. I had a conversation with this with Rabbi Kleiman. Didn't want to tell me what to do about this. He was like, he doesn't know Matthias well enough. He doesn't want to tell me. Rabbi Jacobitz was much more no, that's not considered hard cheese, and that's nothing. That's not. But if it's really a shot. Like you have cheese that's not hard, and then it becomes hard. Any you have a brick of American cheese, any cheddar cheese, and then it became hard. You left that out of the fridge for 2 days. Became hard. I don't know if you consider that hard cheese or not. That's a little hard to believe, but I don't know.
But the improvement of the flavor also is a factor in the aging process. So you said it goes hand in hand. So if you age it for 10 months, it enhances the flavor. Just drying it is not going to enhance any of the flavor. So therefore, it's not going to consider hard cheese. Right.
So that was the. Right. So that was there. So it's interesting because I think so when I spoke to Rabbi Rosen from the Star K today, he was I don't know. It's very vague. It seems like a Moshe Heinemann basically goes with this mahalach as well of Rabbi Aaron, but they're not so quick to say Parmesan cheese. You don't have to wait 6 hours. I'm not sure. Some say it depends. Just to speak on one other point. Rabbi Jacobitz told me also today. He's a Rav in Lakewood. I don't know if everyone knows who he is, but he's a big Rav in Lakewood. He told me that in the Sefer, I think it's called Yad Doidi from Yitzhak David Frankel. Quotes of David Feinstein also saying, I don't know what year it was from, that these no such thing as, in the Jewish, basically no hard cheese anymore, in the Jewish market. That's what his opinion was. I don't know exactly the history it was, but that's what he told me. But apparently both grew up in Europe, and I guess they both had a vision of what hard cheese used to look like, and where they sold these cheeses that didn't match what they were used to seeing in hard cheese. And they sent me a picture today from the Star K. He went a year ago to some cheese, something, I don't know, and he was showing me, took a picture of them doing hard cheese, and you see the mamish like one of these, like, I don't know, gardener shovels, like banging away at the cheese, like getting off some pieces, like, that's the hardor of hard cheese. Like all these cheeses that you get in the store, you could cut with a knife. There's no shaykh to hard cheese in their eyes. Rosh Hashanah, those, I don't know, it's not so clear what they hold about hard cheese, about these Parmesan cheeses, about what you get in the store. So getting back to our shayla we start off with, that if someone had a suffix, if he ate Parmesan cheese, so maybe the tzad lakula. If you go like these paiskim, if you go more with this train of thought, if you go to OU, but I'm saying if you go with this Baron, maybe there's one mahalach to be mekel if you're specific about eating hard cheese, eating Parmesan cheese. I mean, fine. So
It was a suffix if they ate Parmesan cheese?
they ate eggplant and eggplant Parmesan. Right, the shayla is what was the Parmesan in there? These like different Parmesan cheese. Some come hard cheese, some of them are not so hard. Different types of Parmesan cheese. Apparently, you put into eggplant Parmesan.
You wouldn't just go like a suffix mini alba, like what? Why would you actually?
All right, so that's a good question. So why is it suffix rabbanan? So
It's not that abundant.
no, it's suffix on a chumrah. So I saw interesting. So they say the Ramah passing that we're noy to be machmer and hard cheese. Right, but it's b'teres chumer, not b'teres ikar din. So they say one enough communities are if you have suffix something, if something is hard cheese, They don't say your case, but this is the case they give. If you're a suffix on something and being hard cheese, then you're able to be makel since the whole thing is b'teres chumer that we're passing this. So they ask why didn't we just say it's suffix or banan? So they say pshat because you consider yesh l'davar yesh l'matir maybe. So it's not you can just even if you ate it, you can wait a little. 6 hours is not something which is like stuck, so it could be you don't apply stuff to their money. I hear. I'm not sure. I hear. Okay, fine. So that was just a little background in the actual thing of being a Parmesan cheese being hard cheese or not. There was another svara perhaps to be make on this was that these are Yad Yehuda, right? The Yad Yehuda holds that if you have hard cheese that was melted, that does not retain the status of hard cheese, and you do not have to wait 6 hours. So there's a big shiloh in the Paisim exactly how, if we go like this Yad Yehuda in general, and even if you do exactly, to what extent. Some say anything that was melted is considered that it loses its status of hard cheese, but a lot of others who even if you want to go like the Yad Yehuda, that's not how you could be Samech in the Yad Yehuda. You can only be Samech if it's mixed into a greater recipe, then you could, and it's melted, then you could say that that's not considered hard cheese anymore, you don't have to wait 6 hours. However, what?
What's considered melted?
That's a shallow.
You have to make it flat, like liquid, or even if it's...
I don't know. Obviously, I don't know. Melted. If the cream had to turn into liquid cheese, is saying? I don't know.
Turns back and ice and make kosher, is that what happens?
You want? Yeah, it seems like you want to know if after you wait too long and then it becomes hard again. If it gets back to Allah of skivina kasha? Right. So it's not so clear if you go with this Yad Yehuda. Apparently, Abdullah Feinstein was not saying interesting, even though he never really held it. There was such a thing as Parmesan hard cheese to start off with, but when it came with the Yad Yehuda, he said he held he weren't able to be saying it. So that would have been another tzad to be mekel. So we have another 5 minutes, so we'll just go into another shayla over here. There seemed to have been some very, very hard kind of very psak. It was around there at the stall that after you eat, yellow cheese or something, then you have to wait 6 hours. After you eat like a pizza or something, you have to wait 6 hours, which is a very, very hard thing to understand. Why is such a thing? You have to wait 6 hours. So some we know from Rabbi Yashiv said that the reason the chumrah came to be was because maybe this cheese is considered a very strong tasting cheese, and anytime you eat this cheese, it's very the taste lingers in your mouth. And he's not going with this whole Rabban and this whole shtickle that we're going with. He's going much more that it's like you have to be totally in like Oyudik, that it's more that the taste lingering in your mouth. But even so, it's already been down from there. Saying Fisher and many others, the Mamash said they don't have. Rabbi Yasha was saying that this string is not so sharp; it doesn't last in your mouth for that long. The whole matzias of it was very hard to accept, even by the poskim of his time. And there's another svar that they wanted to say that the way they age cheese today is different than how they used to do it. That they say that they add chemicals and different things that could do that could speed up the aging process, and that can make that the cheeses age even faster. So you look at Rabelsky and others, they say that this is a total myth. They say that, I'm quoting what they say that they've gone to many different factories and they've gone to Italy. They say that everyone says that they age cheese the same way they always used to, and there's nothing changed in the aging process how it was done for the last hundreds of years. So that being, they say that this whole chumrah is etzem a chumrah blitam, and some are still knowing like that because that was some claim this was minhag Eretz Yisrael, some claim the quote from the Ben Ish Chai that said that minhag Eretz Yisrael is not to wait. So that's where the shaila came of waiting for these type of cheese like American cheese and yellow cheese. All American poskim say that there's no such thing. The chumrah you don't have to wait, and that's not how you. That's not how there's no chash b'chlal that such a thing would be considered hard cheese. Stamazay, they say American cheese. The OU that says that American cheese is in the cheese industry is equivalent to a hot dog. They say, and they say cheese experts often refer to American cheese as plastic. They say they mix them with so many other things that this whole thing, that the whole matzias of American cheese is missing in the whole sewer of what cheese is really supposed to be. Shkach.